The game is determined in these picks and bans.
Now Snake will get the first ban. This was MVP Black's map pick, the first time this map was ever picked in this tournament. Rexar is still globally banned, by the way, at OGN.
Interesting thing to note there, yeah. I doubt we'd see him anyway, because he's just not that great in this kind of situations. Current meta, it seems.
First ban, Leoric, and to an Uther.
Okay,
no doubt we'll be seeing a lot of that.
Leaving Zeratul on the map for now, which is interesting. Another thing to note on this kind of map, it obviously favors AoE sort of heroes, ones that can do area of effect damage to clear out those Guardians and trigger that Punisher. But look at that. Straight off the bat, it's going to be Zeratul.
Johanna definitely going to be the first lock-in for Black, and they're going to grab Sonya as well.
I like the Sonya pickup.
Both of these heroes great at actually getting the kill. The last hit is all that matters. If you secure that kill and you put it towards that counter of getting those 30 skeletons killed.
Yeah, so good stuff for Black, actually. I really like what they've picked up already. Some great melee heroes. It's going to be hard for Zeratul to find a target at this rate.
But Mong will grab Jaina, which is a terrifying thing.
Yeah.
And we'll see if they actually grab a tank here as well. It's a bit early.
Maybe a Malf.
A Malf would be great.
Considering Uther's already gone, you might as well get the second best healer you can.
Yeah. I have to say I've been underwhelmed by Kinu's Rhaegar play as well in the past, so I think a Malfurion pick would be great here because kind of the way that the healing tiers go in Korea now is you go basically Uther, Malfurion, Rhaegar, and then sometimes Kharazim sneaks in, but they're going to grab Abathur.
Well, we've been seeing more and more Abathur appear, especially in that last best of 5 we saw Snake play in, I believe it was. And, well, it's been doing a lot of work so far. Let's see if we can do one today. Getting rid of Muradin is the second ban from Black.
That's interesting. Well, Muradin does definitely, to a certain extent, counter Sonya's melee damage. Not massively, but can slow her attack speed quite significantly. I think a good ban here would be one of the healers, though, to be honest, from Snake.
Let's see. It's going to get pretty ugly if they ban out another healer there, because then
Black could take it from them, yeah.
They take Malf, and then Snake's left with Rhaegar.
And they don't have a good comp for Rhaegar at all. So actually, banning Malfurion might not even be a bad choice if they're comfortable playing Kharazim in this situation. Also, alternatively, they could ban a damage dealer, like Kael'thas. Kael'thas is really strong on this map. We haven't seen any Korean play on this map, by the way. Just to point that out, this is the first time.
Yeah, it's really, we haven't really figured this one out here in this tournament so far. They're really deliberating on this one. It's a hard choice. Do they want to get rid of a healer? Do they want to get rid of, the damage dealer, as you said? Butcher. Ooh.
He's going to be good for stunning, Jaina from a distance.
Yeah.
Tyrael and Kharazim picked up here for Black. They're really liking that Kharazim play on Meriday, and it's worked out for them, to be honest, so far, so I can't really be critical.
No, it's not a bad hero at all. It's just one we just see less likely than the other ones, Malfurion especially, in this kind of situation.
One thing I want to point out is Black's confidence in the draft. They've used not a single second of their bonus pool, not even one. They know exactly what to pick and when to pick it.
Yeah, they've really prepared for this match, no doubt about that. They have a lot of experience with Snake as well.
Black considered to be the best drafting team in the world by foreign fans and Korean fans alike. Just they draft quick, they know exactly what they're doing.
A lot of what they have so far as well. Just the melee lineup, very melee heavy, as usual from Black.
A lot of debate here from Snake as to who to pick. A lot of squishy heroes, and Malfurion, even though he does have that Tranquility heal, isn't necessarily going to be the best in this scenario.
Well, I think they don't really have any other options unless they want the Rhaegar.
Yeah, even Brightwing I think is not really, it's just not suited for this composition.
There's just nothing to really deal with. I mean, there's no single target you need to get rid of on Black's side that's going to make things a little bit easier.
My concern is just their lineup is so squishy. And because they have Abathur, it's going to just be a symbiote on your head. It's not going to actually be another fighter in the fight.
Well, yeah, it's going to be certainly a one-tank lineup. They can't afford to go for a...
No healer just does not make sense.
It just would not work out. I feel like they've been picked into a corner here, but Brightwing's going to be their healer choice.
Okay. And there's a Tychus pick. First pick Tychus in Korea.
All right.
Black, the first team to pick Raynor in competitive play at MSI, now bringing Tychus into the pool. This is crazy.
No, Tychus, still a great hero, just we never see him. It's interesting that they picked that up. Let's see how that works out. I'm really curious what they have planned.
Tychus does clear those skeletons very quickly, and I feel like because he does kind of get up in your face with that machine gun, he does synergize pretty well with Sonya and Kharazim's AoE heal as well. So I like this pick altogether, especially if you can initiate with judgment. The team composition really comes together. It feels like a much more strong, solid, all-around draft from Black.
They really, I feel like they really certainly won the draft there. They really picked Snake into a corner, and bringing out that Tigers right at the end there could just be confident, so they could have a really practiced sort of match.
Well, let's go into game number 1, everybody. MVP Black versus Snake. Game number 1, MVP Black versus Snake. Semifinals. Winners set number 1. Let's get into it.
They're already doing the Hearthstone dance.
That they are.
Snake on the other side, not doing much at all, preparing for this pretty hard match. I mean, they're really going to have a hard time with this kind of composition from MVP Black. Love their melee lineup as well as that Tychus to back things up. A lot of damage behind them.
This is a really cool draft. I like it a lot. Let's see what Abathur can get done for Snake, because they're really going to have to chain together some slows and stuns with Zeratul.
Well, he's going to be in an open place, but they're not going to take it. Wow. That could have got ugly.
If they had a vision from these creeps just a second ago, they absolutely would have.
Oh, they're waiting for Karazim to get a little far forward, I think. But look at this. Oh, man.
Uh-oh, there's the trap. And look at this. Abathur going to do so much extra damage. And there's the teleport in to try to save Mong, but it fails, in fact, and this could backfire.
This is backfiring in a big way. Oreo Man, the next target here, he might be going down.
Meriday jumping on him here, trying to survive. There's the shield, and here's the second teleport attempt. We'll save him.
Well, a big trade there. Not really either side finding much success. 1 for 1. That kind of showed something in that first fight. Just MVP's so tanky. They got that initial kill on the weakest target they could, Tychus, but after that, they're left with like these 3 very tanky heroes, and they just had no answer, no damage to really beat them down.
Exactly, and the failed teleport from Brightwing was the biggest problem, because once that failed, there was no heal in that fight, nothing to keep them alive, whereas Meriday was continuing to heal and also had the chase ability and forced Zeratul to back, so I'd almost say that was a 1 for 1.5, because he had to back.
He was certainly gone from the lane for a long time. And I'm liking this kind of rotation from MVP Black, sticking together, and they're going to be bullying up to this top Infernal Shrine to start things off.
I think the key for MVP throughout this game is just simply going to be to fight as 5 and use Karazim's heals. Tychus, make sure he's at the back.
Look at this, already clearing up some of the Guardians here. It's going to be such a hard fight for Snake to get in on. While still happening, though, we do see that Abathur in the bottom lane, soaking experience. They might have a little lead after this.
Yeah, depends on how long the fight goes. Oreo Man already taking quite a bit of damage. Tist is kind of the initiator here. Oreo Man does have to blink away.
Oh, big damage on Meriday here. He's going to have to back up. MVP Black actually getting forced out here.
Oh, yeah, and a good stun there on Kocha. And there's that level 4 advantage that you were talking about from Abathur, so they have that talent lead, and they're going to use it.
So they're going to be taking this one for now. Can they actually get enough? It takes a long time to get down 30 Guardians, though, and they do spawn in sort of like 10 blocks.
Those Mong is using his spells only to fight, not to clear. And Kinu taking a lot of damage here.
2 more.
Huge clear.
2 more clears, and they've triggered the Punisher then.
Sake
going to have to get out of there.
Sake's just going to get it. There it goes. It summons, and this means they need to leave because that Punisher will jump on heroes right away, as you can see. Yeah, Oreo Man going to fall. It looks like there's the phase shield, but it's not enough. And boom, down goes Tist as well, it looks like. And
everyone.
Oreo Man and Kino a wipe.
Complete beat down there. And that's the power of Tychus. He has that chasing power. Once he's triggered his Q, he can just simply keep moving and chasing everyone down. Constant damage.
And I feel that one of the worst types of Punishers to have in your lane when 4 of your heroes is down is an Arcane Punisher, because it does drop, you know, those little swirly things that look like they're from Super Mario Brothers that come around and they'll just burn everything to pieces and push the lane. They might even get a fort off of this so early on into the game.
I think they just might. It's going to be hard for them to defend this one. It's about to go down.
Mong is already down to half health again.
Yeah, he's actually going to be so careful. It's 4v3 right now.
Yeah. I mean Brightwing can teleport in, but he needs to be on point with that quick teleport.
They do have a lot of global with that Abathur and Brightwing. That's one thing to note. It is a big map, but I still feel like it's a very teamfight oriented and already it's a kind of a snowballing map as well. And MVP starting to snowball.
Oh, Sign getting very low. Staying in this fight a bit too long. It actually does get stunned. Here's the teleport in. But no follow-up. Too slow.
Yeah, great rotations there. And great movement from that Johanna, you know, avoiding that second Blizzard hit.
Yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned the global prowess here for Snake, because they definitely can be in multiple lanes at once with Abathur as well as Brightwing. Even Tyrell actually poking at Abathur a little bit, telling him to get out of the lane, no body soaks for you.
I kind of like this composition they have, but I like it more on something like Sky Temple, a bigger map that doesn't like cost you as much if you lose a team fight early on. So they're still down a talent point, and the team fighting from MVP Black is only going to get worse.
Well, we are going to see the Siege minions to the south taken here, but again, Snake, one of the best teams at rotating to deny things like this, but unfortunately with the 3v4, it's just simply not going to happen. In fact, the 3v5 now that Tyrael has rotated down. So they forced the issue here, and they may actually just push down this fort.
Yeah, they could start working on these towers at least, get rid of them, give them a nice experience lead, a little bit closer to level 10.
All right, another shrine is activating. Meanwhile, Abathur continuing to soak in the top lane, and eventually they are going to catch up in levels if this continues, but they're really favoring sticking together for these hard pushes, and Karzim comes down again.
Just picking away at it as they can, clearing this lane, waiting for the next Infernal Shrine to trigger. There it is.
Oh, there's another Howling Blast on lockdown, and he's going to have to get out of there. Kyocha jumps in, and Tist taking way too much damage. Look at that spear from Kyocha, and now, a good condemn as well. Look at this composition is just better overall in big fights for MVP.
It's just tearing them apart again and again. They're just never in position for it. Sure, they have that top lane soaking this whole time, but it doesn't matter if a Punisher's going to come out and claim another fort.
30-0, not that it matters on this map. No matter what your score is afterwards, if you don't get 30, it's not going to descale the Punisher, but this is going to potentially give them level 10 after this push, which is a scary thought. And oh no, Kinu getting jumped on here. He's going to have to back off, but Kyocha for the follow-up.
A lot of damage here. He could just go down. Mortar as well on that Punisher, so it's always going to be a constant damage on the heroes fighting under it.
It's like a Kael'thas out of control that's tanky. It's like a tanky Kael'thas that shoots out random flame strikes. That's basically what this thing is. They do survive this without allowing Black to get level 10, but it's just a matter of time. A few more waves cleared, and they will have their heroics first.
Moments away, and there we are. It's going to be very hard for Snake until they get that 10. They have to avoid fights, and look at that Thor is going to be the choice for Tychus.
And, you know, Sanctification is coming up for Tyrell. Now, I was about to say I think it's a good comp to actually go for Sanctification, considering that they have the better team fight composition already. You know, Abathur is basically just going to be a small, short-lived clone in the fight, and then he's going to go down as well. And then once that happens, it's going to be a 5v4 with that extra, you know, healing power essentially from Karzim. I like this choice a lot.
Yeah, I'm liking what we're seeing from MVP Black. They have a great composition here.
Now, Oreo might try to go for a Void Prison here. Now that level 10 is active, he's in position.
They're all bunched up too. They could actually go for a pretty good one.
Let's see. He's going to go into the fight and drop some attacks first. Saki goes down right away. And Lockdown continuing to fight. Still no Void Prison yet.
Very early pop as well on Divine Palm from Mary Day. Not really finding any use there. And they're going to have to fall back here. It's 5v4 right now.
They just weren't able to capitalize on that Void Prism. I totally misspoke. What I meant to say is even though they Void Prism, there just wasn't a good follow-up engage there. You know, they trapped several heroes, but there wasn't, you know, they couldn't get a huge Howling Blast afterwards.
I feel like they did a pretty good job considering. Like they certainly got one kill, right? So that was fine. But not really finding much follow-up beyond that. It's just so hard to deal with this composition from MVP Black right now because they're so tanky.
Well, they have, Snake has with that kill essentially caught up in levels. Let's see if they can actually take this first shrine. They're already so late to arrive that
they also burnt their heroics. It's another thing to note. It's like, can they even fight if they wanted to?
Yeah, we still have the Thor available here for Sake to use. And he's definitely going to wait till the last second to do that. All right. A missed heroic there on Karzim, unfortunately, but they still get the Punisher uncontested. And this is just another issue. This happens over and over and over again. They're going to party bush here.
Oh, well, let's see what they can do here. It's going to be the Frozen Punisher this time around as well.
Yeah, a really good Aldruin's Might to check for that. You never want to walk into a line of sight blocker without knowing what's there.
Jumping on top of Jaina to start things off. Monk gonna have to get back, but not much of a follow-up from the team of MVP Black, so they're gonna let this one go.
Now they're just kind of waiting here. We do see that Johanna does rotate to clean the lanes. They do take those ranged minions and just kind of rotate back in the mid lane. So they're just kind of not pushing their advantages too far, just taking small leads piece by piece.
Just careful positioning, careful fights. They don't want to get caught out again. They got to be so careful of Zeratul in this Void Prison. That's like the scariest thing of all. They're going to be, if they get caught out, they can just lose a team fight.
Exactly, and Oreo does have it active. See if he's going to drop it. There goes grabs 4. Actually, just 3. Meride does avoid that. Let's see if the follow-up is there. Look at that excellent Blizzard there. But look at that lockdown getting right in the fight. Tis now on the retreat, and Mong getting very low, has to back off. And this fight is already lost for Snake. They just need to escape.
Yep, they missed their chance there with the Void Prison. They're going to try and get out here. You've got to be careful. They don't want to fight under a fort. Kuchan getting very low. And I think the biggest thing of all during that fight was lockdown tied up Jaina so she couldn't get off that Blizzard on top of 3 of those Void Prison heroes. That really saved the day.
Yeah, it looks like the spike didn't go off there on Sonya, so she does live to fight another day. Close call there for lockdown. And we do see this, you know, the Zeratul play is smart, it's good, it's just the follow-up seems to be a bit weak. We saw the clone dropped on, of course, Jaina, and that's going to be basically what he wants to do every time. You drop the clone, you do some extra burst damage, you kind of combo those, the chill together, you know, and get those crits.
Do a lot of damage very quickly, especially if they're Void Prisoned up like that.
And that's what we saw, is just the sustain with Kharazim just backing off. As soon as the clone is dead, you have a 5v4 fight. Even with the symbiote is never going to be as good as a regular hero because it doesn't have 4 abilities and its own heroic.
Here we go again, Infernal Shrine. 15 seconds away from activating. Can Snake actually take a fight? They're already out of position for it, essentially.
They're zoned out again. MVP constantly zoning them out with this comp because they stay together. The power of Abathur is a lot weaker. You know, when you're constantly roaming around the map as 5 and clearing waves that way. Look at this, they're going to get this first wave in seconds.
Void Prism active once again if he wants to go for it though.
Yeah, they need to stay somewhat split here. Here he comes around the back!
Oh, everyone's splitting up here. He's not really looking for it, he's not really found it just yet.
Okay, this might be his opportunity. Is he going to go for it?
Power's activated.
Oh, Kong! That clone getting very low, already down essentially, but he did buy a lot of time. There's a 7-sided strike, and Tist, everybody is Void Prisoned here except Sake, and he's just going to have to back off, but they can disengage so easily, and Kyocha on top of everybody. Tist will fall. And Kyocha getting very low as well, but look at that, they save him. Already a 2-for-0 trade here, and guess what? Punisher's activated.
Yep. It's going to be that Arcane Punisher once again as well. They will certainly claim this bottom fort. One fort will remain for Snake.
And with 2 down, they can actually push with it this time. You know, you've seen every time they just take the Punisher without a fight, they just kind of rotate back to lanes, keep them pushed, but in this case, they can actually push hard. And because the Punisher is still at 85% health, they might actually be able to push for a keep. It's going to be tough, but it is possible that they can get this. Brightwing and Arthas back up in just a second.
See what they can do here.
Oh no, Mong gets caught, and this is a problem. Kyocha goes in, he has to ice block.
They're waiting for that one. They're going to find the kill there. Very, very safe ice block there. They could lose a keep for this there. I think they just might.
Yeah, I think this is that engage enough will guarantee them a keep. Down it goes, and this means for the rest of the game we are going to have siege minions in the bot lane.
As mentioned, a huge talent lead for MVP Black right now, 16-14. So they have those 16 talents as we see now.
Blood for blood. Tychus taking Stone Skin to keep him alive. He also has Imposing Presence from that level 13. Just kind of looking at all these talents here. More shield upgrades for Tyrael. Spell Shield for Arthas, a pretty smart choice. And Warm Hell, of course, for Zeratul. Now, you know, with this bot lane push constantly going up, that will usually keep Abathur tied up in the bot lane. He's probably going to be staying down there most of the time to help push that back. Even Brightwing coming down there to kind of push this back, because you never want, while you're trying to set up an engage or trying to set up a, you know, kills on the shrine, for suddenly your core to be under attack by multiple siege minions.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem at this point in the game.
Orioman with a nice little grab here on these Goatmen, him and Mong, the dastardly duo going down there to grab those. So that was a nice little pickup.
Yeah, trying what they can here, but MVP Black just staying as 5. They know they have that team fight advantage. They've been winning a lot of fights in a row now, and they just keep finding, especially positioning on top of these Infernal Shrines.
Now, Jaina does grab the stun at level 13 with Northern Exposure, so if she actually, you know, Northern Exposures any chill targets, they're going to be stunned and they're going to take like 25% extra damage, so that's a scary, scary place at level 16. And that same sort of, you know, talent advantage will be given to the Abathur clone as well when he comes in. So a lot of burst damage here for Snake.
Absolutely, and it's really going to come down to, can he find that damage after a Void Prison? You know, if he's going to find that AoE effect, sort of, that's their best chance of just getting a clean team wipe.
Yeah, that would definitely give them the chance to push some of these forts. It's currently full forts to 3 remaining. on Snake, including 1 lost keep. And here's going to be the next shrine. Let's see if they can get that Void Prism. This is the most important moment here.
Yeah, it's actually the first time Snake's had a good position against MVP Black in one of these shrines.
Oreo coming in from the left side. He could try to grab these.
He's looking for it. He's waiting for it.
Okay, all heroics are active for all 10 members. Okay, the clones actually, Kong clones Oreo and actually they're going to go in here and try to pick off Tyrael, but it's not going to be enough damage. There's the Void Prism though. Where's the Blizzard follow-up?
Oh, he already used his Blizzard, it seems like it. So they're not going to be finding it this time around.
Yeah, Tist having to zone out so they can disengage here. Kyocha's still very low, and Oreo is going to try to pick him off, and in fact he will. Meanwhile, on the other side of the fight, Sign trying to lead the charge here, but he's very low as well. And this could be a first win for a fight here for Snake.
Oh, that Blizzard as well, but they do get the Punisher. Beyond all this, they did actually control these Guardians for long enough. So there's going to be that scary follow-up. Still Snake winning the team fight.
Yeah, Sony goes down, but a stun here on Oreo, he will have to disengage. And this Punisher at this stage in the game, because of that northern exposure, can be killed very quickly. Punisher does not have as much health as, say, you know, one of Hell's or Heaven's Guardians or a Golem on Haunted Mines. It's not actually that tanky, so it will go down pretty quick, but not without killing this mid fort.
Yeah, it does a lot of damage, which is the big thing. Down goes that fort. No forts remain. And only 2 keeps remain for Snake, so they're getting beaten back again and again. All the forts remain. We'll hold that thought. Saki in a lot of trouble.
Oh, man. Getting polymorphed as well. And down he should go. Merida keeping him alive for so long, but down he goes. This is another great fight for Snake. 7-side strike being used here to try to save himself, but it's not going to happen. And these fights here in the late game, it's almost like MVP Black is getting overconfident. They're overextending. They're moving too far forward into these lanes.
Yeah, they go way too forward that time around. I mean, Punisher's still alive doing some damage, but it doesn't really matter if you're going to lose team fights like this. And the later the game goes, the more important these team fights are. The longer the timers are, you can simply just lose the game, hands down.
Absolutely. And if you lose fights like this right before a shrine comes up, that's when it gets really scary. Looks like they're going to party bush here a little bit. Oreo is coming for this, and they see the timing, they see the window, and down he will go.
Oh my god.
Ganked.
So much damage, especially from that Sonya. Really great find there. It's going to give him a breath of fresh air and a little bit more space. They're actually down a level now, MVP Black, despite being up, you know, like 5 forts right now, or a keep and 3 forts.
Exactly. And that means that's even a scarier thought if this game goes late game, say level 22 to 25 or so, because there's all that EXP waiting to be unlocked, like unwrapped presents that were forgotten about in those extra forts. So, you know, just something to keep in mind. And if Snake gets level 20 first, that will give him their extra heroics. This means Jaina has a lot more flexibility with Blink. Obviously, Hardened Shield on Arthas. Brightwing can get that Storm Shield as well.
Look at that. They're about to hit that level 20, so they're going to have such great presence on the map. They'll be hands down winning team fights if they're in position for them. And if an Infernal Shrine comes up anytime soon, they'll be certain to take it. Great window of opportunity here if they can take advantage of it.
You know, the winner of the finals, I mean, this is the final match that leads in the finals. The winner of the finals will go to BlizzCon, where there's hundreds of thousands of dollars on the line. And Korea is favored to win BlizzCon, most people would say.
Certainly so. And look at this. The next shrine activates. Still, MVP Black looking for that level 20. They have to get to those Storm talents.
Yeah, we see Rewind on Zeratul, one of the most terrifying things that you can actually go up against. As well as Brightwing actually getting an upgrade for her trait rather than going for Storm Shield, which is an interesting pick. We don't see Brightwing too often in Korea. It's getting more popular. Let's take a look at the Shrine fight. They're not level 20 yet, and they are desperately trying to get there. Trying to clear these waves.
I think they might just be letting it go. They might be just heading straight for the next keep.
It looks like that's what they're going to do. They're going to let it go. In fact, with three forts still online for them. They haven't lost a single fort. I like this choice because even a Punisher is not really that scary for them. It looks like Oreo going to stay over there and clear up those skeletons while the rest of the team is going to come back to defend.
Well, that's ambitious. They need that Void Prison to try and take a fight like this.
Okay.
Especially when they're level 20 each.
They got the Punisher, and there is actually a push at top lane with that currently, with those Mercs. We'll see if this Gambit pays off for Black. They did get another keep.
Snake looks like they want to follow this up, though. They want to go for the kill. Oreo coming from behind.
Yep, jumps in on top of Merida, setting up for a Void Prism. He actually is cloned as well, so that's a bit confusing.
Kyocha taking a lot of damage as well, down to half HP. And they're just on the run right now. They're even in level, but they're afraid to take a fight.
The Water Elemental now does expire, so it's essentially out of this fight. But the longer they kind of delay and poke around, this Punisher is doing a lot of damage. It's a Mortar Punisher as well. This is actually a really scary moment here for MVP Black. They cannot take a bad fight. This could be game losing for either team to lose a team fight.
If they lose a team fight right here and that Punisher's still alive, they could certainly lose the core.
Void Prison's still active. They really need to stay split. They're actually grouping up quite a bit. It's scaring me a little bit. I'm getting stressed.
Well, Punisher's going to go down. That Keith should be able to stay alive from here. Snake hasn't really found their way in, hasn't really found a kill yet either.
Abathur at home continuing to defend the pushes. Only the top keep remains, so constant waves of siege minions are coming across the top lane. Back to back to back. Looks like they were trying to bait another engage here, but it will not happen.
And Thor, he's also got the Storm Talent for the Thor, so he can drop nukes now, which is a lot of extra damage. Really going to slow down any sort of pushing, especially from a Punisher.
You see a little bit of fear here from Snake. They're up a level, and Oreo Man was not even willing to check those Goat Men. He didn't even go over there. It was just somewhat unlike Snake. Oreo Man always checks, and in this case they did not. That's fear. They even had Vision of Tyrael in the top lane, so a bit surprised they didn't check for that because they could have tried to take a fight there. Instead, just going to play it safe. Playing a little bit nervous, I feel. Kinu kind of telling everybody to calm down. Let's not take unnecessary fights right now.
Yeah, especially that the last time Oreo Man went down like that, a little paranoid. MVP Black really had the download on what exactly he was doing. Always got to be careful, especially this time of the game. 20 minutes in, and that core is wide open. There's 2 keeps missing right now. So if they win a team fight, they march across the map and end the game.
Yeah. Even if they kill 2 members for free,
that's all they need. That's all they need.
They don't have to wipe. When Moonlight says win a team fight, he means like kill 1 person and nobody dies.
Well, especially if it's Zeratul, right? Because if he's not there, they can't win a team fight. They need that Void Prison. They need to be able to do some critical damage very quickly, especially to that Tychus. And that's the name of the game for Zeratul in this fight.
Now they keep cloning Oreo Man rather than cloning Mong, and I'm really not 100% sure why. I mean, he does have a lot of flexibility of how he can jump around the map with Oreo Man's clone, with the clone on Zeratul. But before we talk about this anymore, it looks like the Shrine is going to activate in 10 seconds, and MVP is setting up for a good position here.
Yeah, they're waiting for it. Snake, are they going to be the ones to go in here, take the bait? Looks like they will. It's going to be about MVP. How are they going to engage this?
Well, they're just going to run in right here, right now. Sign jumping in, but Tist is there as well. Good splits here on Black, so they're actually not going to be Void Prison. Kong comes in, drops that on Sake, and look at this fight, just going to engage straight up in the middle of them. Lockdown up in the front, and Kong's clone gets very low, but look at this fight over here. So much damage on Blizzard as well as Tist's Howling Blast. But down goes Zeratul, and this is a problem. Things are going to start to snowball from here.
There's simply no escape either. It's such a hard fight to have. Tist, though, very healthy in the middle of all things, especially with that Abathur hat. Maybe he can do some real damage.
Poor targeting there on Sion, but it looks like he's barely going to survive just for a little bit longer. And the fight continues.
He's dropping nukes on top of these Guardians as well, so he's slowly getting up that counter to release the Punisher. But looks like Sake in big trouble.
Oh, man, there he goes. And I feel like even with a little bit better targeting on the Water Elemental, we could have seen an earlier kill.
Wow, Meriday somehow avoiding that Blizzard. Still the fight continues.
Mong looks like he will fall here. Nothing's going to save him in this fight, but we do see that Meriday has to stay back. He's no longer able to heal his teammates. Kinu getting very low.
So low right now. Looks like they're going to turn attention to Tis. Tis going to be running for his life.
What a crazy fight this is turning out to be.
And it's still going as well. Sign looking to close things out.
Oh, there's the stun, though, from Johanna. Tis is insanely low, and down he goes. Now Kinu needs to get out. And this might be enough of a win in the team fight to just summon the Punisher and win the game. Zeratul is back up, though.
I think it is. They're going to get the Punisher, no doubt about that.
There it is. And it is going to be a Frost Punisher, an Ice Punisher. Frozen Punisher, there's the right word for it.
And it is going to be going down the center. There is no keep there. It's going to be going straight for that core.
A huge blunder from Oreo Man to actually show himself there. Of course he was going to be stunned by that. He's trying to buy any time he can for Jaina to get back up. Jaina is the key to holding this with Northern Exposure. Void Prison can actually make the keep invulnerable.
A lot of damage there. Oreo Man, got to be careful.
He's just trying to slow this down as much as possible. Now Jaina is active. Arthas up in 20.
They might be able to hold on here, but they got to try and deal with his Punisher because he's going to create so much disruption in the fight.
Yeah. Okay, this is still defendable. Oreo Man's Void Prism choice is going to be a tough one. How is he going to use this?
Yeah, he's going to have very little options. Kinu taking a lot of damage from that nuke.
Yeah, a ton of damage indeed. That globe actually really helping to keep him alive. Kong jumping in with the clone. They do group up. but no Void Prison. He wants to save it, potentially to save the core.
That could be it as well. And that Punisher's still so healthy at this point.
Oh no, the 7-sided strike coming in as well. Oriome getting solo. They all have to back off, which means the core is now vulnerable, going down to 80%. And it looks like MVP Black is going to take a tense game number 1 here. 24.5-minute game, one of our longer ones here, and they will take the lead with game number 1. Very great play from both teams, and this is just a take.